Yeah, man. Yeah, man. What is going on, Cowboys Nation? What is going on, Stargate affiliates? We're in the building. It's your guy, Nix. It's that boy, Spoony. And ladies and gentlemen, you know what we have. You know what we have You know we have a special guest in the building. Nick, my guy, Nick Herrera. What's going on, brother? How are you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Happy to be on the show. How are you guys doing?
Man, we are living life. Man, I just got off work, trying to run in here so we can talk about this episode 2 of Hard Knocks. And, we'll cover a little other things as it pertains to the Cowboys, as always. Spoonie, how you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm doing good. Glad to be on. Glad to Cowboy football is very near.
Oh, yeah, brother. Oh, we're getting close. Oh, yeah. Well, man, we are getting so close. We are getting so close. You already know. My guy Mass is in the building. A 4D podcast. We did a live. If y'all missed the live with me and my guy Mass, man, it was live. We had a good time. 4D podcast. Make sure you go check that out. Also, selfless plug. My guy Dave Sergio from Chop Sports. All About the Star podcast. I was a guest on there yesterday. And the show dropped today. Make sure you go check that out as well. I got that in the group. I got it on the page. If you're on Twitter, you can find it over there as well. Go check it out and see what's good. We had a great time. Shout out to my guy Dave, man. And again, Dave, if you're listening right now, I'm still going to get back on that daggum around the nation. It is with my guy Sky and get my win. Dadgummit. My guy Don's the Beard Gang. You already know what it is, man. With that being said, guys, I mean, it's been a little pretentious to Cowboys Nation a little bit today. We're not going to touch that just quite yet. But let's get into this episode 2 of Hard Knocks. And let me start here. Let me start with our guy Nick, special guest of me and Spoon tonight here with the Star Gang podcast. Nick, we had episode 1. We're here to episode 2. First thoughts, if you had to pick one thing maybe from episode 2, what stuck out to you, man? Or what did you like the most?
The thing that got me most excited was the CD Lamb montage of just him being an absolute badass. That was fantastic. I think most of Twitter knows that I'm usually very pessimistic with young guys. And that dude is just checking all the boxes about being a star.
Yes, sir.
From year 1, stud. Year 2, superstar, man. The arrow's pointing up. Loved it. Honorable mention, the segment on Kamara. Kamara was great, man. Like, I didn't know a lot about him. Very cool story.
Yes.
Probably on the bubble looking out or on the outside looking in. But still, very cool story. Still a young guy. Honestly, for me being raised on the Kansas side, had no idea that dude was a KU dude. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Wow. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah. My guy Beirut's in the business says, Nick Herrera, no. Well, he says, not no. Argue with that man all the time, says he's always wrong, but he still loves you. Love it. My guy Geeche's in the building. Geeche said Parsons is going to be a star. I think we kind of learned that episode 1. We've seen that continue through this way here. My guy. Mr. Page, Patrick Page, man, love you, brother. In the building, birthday kickoff September 9th. And let me see. My guy Alan Means is in the building. Massey already talked about. Oh shit, man. Well, long-time Stargang affiliates. Mr. Canner, as always, and my guy Richard in the building. Appreciate y'all as always, man. Give it a like, give it a share, and I'm with you. I'm back to your point there when it comes to CD Lamb. What did he get? 4 games at best with our guy Dak, QB14. And he still didn't put up 1,000 yards with the likes of a Nucci and Andy Dalton and the G. I mean, 4 different quarterbacks and still almost put that up. Now he's added the weight, and my goodness, that montage, like you said, just looks great. And what's great about it was before episode 2 came out, Eagles Twitter was chirping because of a Rieger catch. We see a catch finally, and then HBO, y'all didn't let Cowboys Nation down, did you? Because you came right on the back end and gave us that montage, which was absolute fire. Yeah. My
goodness. Screen Rieger finally made a catch past 10 yards of the line of scrimmage, and they freaked out.
Bubble screen Rieger. I like it. BSR. Let's go. Spoonie, how about you, my guy? I know we was going to go last night. We said, you know what? That episode ran a little long. We said, let's backdoor and do it today. Spoonie, for you, if you have one thing to take away from episode 2, what'd you like?
Oh, man, listen, I was posting so many videos yesterday on Twitter and in Star Gang. And it was so many great clips on the show yesterday. When Nick was saying about the CeeDee Lamb montage,
Yeah.
I mean, that was awesome right there. And we all know how we feel about the number 88.
Right.
And for those who are still arguing about picking CeeDee Lamb number 17, I think you need to slow that down after you saw that video.
I'm tell you right now, if anybody from
Yeah.
day one was arguing about CeeDee Lamb 17,
Yeah.
I will find them and go to their house and bump them on the head.
100%. I love that. I mean, the leadership there, the getting the team hyped up, even after the fighting. He was praising Connor Williams a lot. I mean, I love the support from
Love that.
even during the Cardinals game when they're on the sidelines and they cheering on the young guys there. I just love it. It just feels it looks different from what we used to seeing in the past before. I love the fire in Mike McCarthy, how he came about.
Okay, I like that. I like that, Spoon.
Yeah.
I like because you're segueing. See, that's what I love here, Spoon. We are so connected because you segue to me. Because one of the things I wanted to ask you, but off the top, right? They led right in hot.
Right.
They led right in hot with McCarthy and that speech, right?
Yes.
Nick, that speech hit you some because we had the week 1 speech from McCarthy and it was kind of a mixed reaction from Cowboys fans, right? To a certain extent, how they felt about it or whatever. How about this one? Did this one reach you differently, or look? Actually, give me your take on the first week one. Give me your take this week one. How about that?
Honestly, I'm not someone who puts a lot of stock into those speeches, especially since it's Hard Knocks, and they're going to put a Hollywood spin on it. They want people talking.
Right.
What I will say though is I do think we get a glimpse of McCarthy talking about football things. And that's what he's here for. He's not a podium guy. He's not one of those guys that needs to be in front of the media. He honestly looks uncomfortable in front of the media, but he looks comfortable in front of his players. So I like seeing that side of him. And I think a lot of people are learning a lot about him, that he's here for business. He's here for football. The rest of the stuff, leave that to Jerry, leave it to Steven. He'll chime in whenever they defer questions to him, but that's not his scene. So I did like that they've highlighted that. As far as what he delivered, I like what he said, but at the same time, it's put up or shut up. So as long as it translates to the field, I'm happy with it.
Okay, he wasn't smashing watermelons. He wasn't feeling it. Got it. Spoony leading now and off the rip and what he was talking about. What did you think about his speech off the rip tonight? Or last night, excuse me.
No, I mean, I thought it was great. It's like when Nick put it on right there, is that he's comfortable in front of his teammates. He's not, I mean, I'm not trying to throw anything bad at Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett was more of a quotes guy. He would put on the great quotes versus a hardcore speech about expectation and things like that. And when it's coming from a proven coach who has won in the past, and let's be honest, he also has a chip on his shoulder because he also wants to prove to the NFL world that he could win a Super Bowl with a different team and it's not the quarterback he had in the past. Same thing like Dak Prescott. He has a chip on his shoulder as well. So I love the combination and I love the things that Mike McCarthy was saying because this is the exact thing that we need for our culture to the way we want it to move. And to me, he's winning in my book.
Right. I think for me, the words are the words and look, right, because we know a particular portion of Cowboys Nation, right? Remember when Chris Richard was here and he was so hype on the sideline and all this and, that's what we need, those kind of things. So it plays well to the camera, if you will. I think for me, as I was watching, because they were paying to the players or whatever, and there's been this one thing about, well, what's that relationship between Dak and McCarthy? It's bubbling underneath the scene a little bit. Some people kind of bring it up and talk about it. How is that working? For me, during that conversation or during that, speech, when they panned to Dak, to me, I saw Dak nodding the head, and I just kind of saw he was receiving it. And I said, look, I don't care how buddy they are. And I've said this before. Like, you would have Garrett, Witten, and Romo. They were at Duke games or they were at Mavs games. And, they would, quote unquote, have the beers and nachos, if you will. And Dak has kind of shown that he's not that guy, especially when it pertains to the Joneses, right? And he hasn't really done that with any coach yet. But if he's receiving what the coach is saying and he's nodding that head to me and he's going to turn and pivot and echo that, That's what matters. And I think that's going to happen. So I'm with you, Nick, to a certain extent. All right, cameras, whatever. He's a football guy, Pennsylvania. And I've said this a ton, and I completely agree with you here. He's not comfortable in front of the lights in Dallas. It's different than it is in Green Bay. And we've seen that from him. But behind the scenes, and what we're getting a little bit different glimpse, we see what he is, and we'll see if that. And look, and guess what, guys? We'll find out real soon if it resonates with the team or not. You know. Now I'm going to answer the question.
What you're,
No.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
real
No, go ahead, Nick. No,
to
go right
reiterate
ahead.
what you were saying too about Dak, though, I think he somewhat appreciates the relationship because I don't think he's really wanting a buddy head coach QB relationship. It's business. I mean,
Right.
Dak needs someone. I don't want to say to babysit him, but they need someone to reel him in because he's going to go 110% every day at practice. And so McCarthy is looking out for him. You know, he might not like it, but I think he respects it. And that nod of the head, I think that's just him acknowledging, yes, I know what you're saying. I agree with your saying.
Yeah.
Let's get to
It
work.
goes
You
back
know,
to episode,
it's not,
right?
hey, let's go grab beers after practice. Nothing like
Right,
that.
and it goes back to episode
I think
1.
I think it's good.
Right, and I agree with you because it goes back to episode 1, whenever Dak wasn't going to be able to throw whatever, and they were about halfway through it, and McCarthy's like, well, basically, what the f is he out here for? And he walks up to Ford, he's like, hey, I respect it, but go get the treatment. What are you doing out here? And look, and that's a great working relationship. That look, you don't have to be in all these games and hug each other. Like if you played football, you understand these kind of things, and that's what I do like about it. I completely agree with that that standpoint. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. My guy Jackson in the building says, "Hope Izzy can somehow hang on. Special teams will be the breaker. Like he's playing all over the place. He's tackling well." It's going to come down to special teams. But I want to go back and answer what I want to highlight from episode 1. My guy Isaac, man, I'm out here begging on Twitter. I'm trying to get him some cake. You know, shout out to Confections. Me and her have been back and forth. I'm trying to get my man some cake. And then on top of that, you know, Spoonie, what did he say? What did he say? When he was on the sideline, what did he say?
What did he? He says all night long.
You know, and just his energy, the thing that he brings. Look, and he's outside looking in. I understand that. He's kind of like, if you're a Mavs fan, right? He's kind of the Boban of the Cowboys right now to a certain extent, right? And I kind of love that about him. You saw in the game, the glimpse, we saw to the other guy who was, you know, from the international program. He's like, look at God, look where we are, and different things. Yeah. So I thought it was very cool that HBO highlighted not just your last name, Kamara, but they also Isaac as well. I thought they did a good job there. I think we're going to turn the heat up next week. But I definitely like seeing those kind of things happen with those guys. Now let's get to the brass tacks a little bit of the game in general. Danucci stock maybe a smidge up. They played better than week 1, right? I mean, he got a touchdown for what it's worth. Connor Williams at center. Whew, them snaps smidge down. For y'all, 1 week, 2 weeks, preseason game wise, who are you buying? Who are you not buying? Spoonie, I'll start with you this time. Who are you in on the first 2 preseason games, and who you may be down on that you thought was going to do better?
Oh, okay. I'm definitely down on Anthony Brown.
Okay.
I'm definitely down on Anthony Brown. I noticed in the first preseason game there was a play where it was Claypool right to him. I believe it was for first down. And then right after that, he was done for that series. Then they came in, then they put Nashawn Wright. Then I noticed last week it was the same thing. I was like, wow. So, I mean, something's going on with that. Hopefully, they probably want to move on from Anthony Brown. Especially, I'm very high on Maurice Candidate. Very high.
Oh, yeah.
Candidate. I mean, he opted out last year, and coming into this season, to this offseason, you know, people felt like he was a body. And I know he's making it very hard in those meetings about who they really want to play. Because I guarantee you, nobody thought Maurice Cannon. I mean, if you did, I apologize. But I know myself, I did not expect Maurice Cannon to make this high of a jump. And he's doing it every time. Every time there's a Cowboy practice or a game, he's doing something. So down on Anthony Brown, high on Maurice Cannon.
Nick, up and down, where you at right now?
Up. Osa Odigizua. I think he has done a fantastic job. It makes me a little less worried. He's still a rookie, so he's still going to have those rookie mistakes. Makes me a little less worried about losing Gallimore. He's playing with power. He's playing with speed. He's playing with instincts. He's not getting pushed around, which you don't see often. So very high on him. Low, Micah Parsons. No, I'm just kidding. Not just kidding. So I would have to,
Nick always good for the good troll.
I would have to go with low. I think basically all of our backup tackles. Like I'm very worried, especially with the scare with Lael Collins today. I mean, pick whoever you want to be the swing tackle right now. It ain't going to look pretty. So one might be a little bit better than the other, but oh man, it's been rough. So very low on our tackles right now.
Man. And let me go back to draft night for everybody who's been watching this a long time and whatnot. Draft night, when we got there for the first pick of the third round, we took Osa, and I was like, maybe we took Gallimore, right?
No.
Hold on for a second. I got to inbox real quick. All right, boom. All right, there we go. I was like, man, we took Gallimore, But now you look at the team that he played for and what he does and everything. But like I said, I'm not calling him Aaron Donald. I said it, and I was like, well, he's kind of baby Aaron Donald. He does certain things, and he has had the opportunities to walk through there. I definitely co-sign what Osa's been doing so far. But around the horn style here, from my ups and downs, man, I tell you. I don't know. For me personally, and I'll do it this way. For me personally, I don't know that I expected Jabril Cox to kind of walk through how he has so far, and I've said it before. That I thought he was like, hey, this is a redshirt kind of year. He'll be a special teams guy, and we'll just kind of go from there as we're looking at the depth and things that are happening in linebacker. That's kind of where I was on him, but all of a sudden. He's done some things right as we're looking at the first two games. It's like, oh, not that I didn't know that he couldn't do these things, but we're seeing them already. And I'm like, okay, now I got to start thinking about how many snaps is maybe a Cox going to get as we get to the regular season. So I'm very big up on Jabril Cox because the tackling side is what we were worried about. He showed not a ferocious tackler, but he's doing the job, right? He's getting them down. Right, he's getting the guy to the ground. Coyle, another guy, undrafted guy, flying to the ball. I'm my 1B, just flying around. Spoonie's guy, your guy, Spoon, I know, flying around a little bit. And especially in week 2 versus week 1.
Yeah.
I think LVE is not getting enough credit for how well he's played preseason so far. He talked about an OT as being the right position, and he's feels double. Obviously, it's a contract year, and we know that we can talk about Doris Armstrong being in a contract year and how he's walking through the door. But LVE is not getting talked about enough of how well he's been playing so far. On the downside, man, I don't want to sound. I don't want to be like I'm going to ride the fence here, and I don't want to. Man, this offensive tackle, my goodness, Nick, I don't know. Man, I'm scary. Obviously, we saw the injury today. Right, with Collins. Now they're saying it's not a big deal, and he didn't go to the back. He stayed on the field, for the rest of practice. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 you're not worried, 10 you're panicking. Nick, where do you think you are with what happened today with Collins? Do you think it's much to do about nothing, or is there something there?
I think it's closer to not being as worried. I would say 4 right now. Again. They seem to be taking every precaution. They want, for one, to be able to protect Dak. They want those guys to be there week 1. So until they have some more news come out that makes me worried, 4, 3, somewhere around there. So not overly worried, to be honest.
Spoony, are you where you at 1 to 10 with what happened today with Collins? You good, or are you worried?
I'm the same as Nick. Nothing really came out yet until they come out. From they say they're taking an MRI or anything like that, right? So once that comes back, then we'll see. But other than that, I don't think it's really then too serious.
Yeah, for me, I'm a 2.5. Low key in my spirit, I'm like, I'm not really worried. But man, here's the thing that I know about Mike McCarthy. I heard a lot about not being worried about last year about certain players, and then all of a sudden they were just gone. Right. So I'm a little torn on that, but I agree with you guys. I don't think it's much. I don't think it's going to be a really big issue. And back to both of y'all's points of, hey, they are being just bubble wrap these guys till we get to week 1. We'll unleash them and we'll see what's happening, and we'll go from there. Hey man, my guy J Tex in the building. What's going on, fam? So yeah, so I'm not really too concerned about what happened today, especially from the simple fact that he stayed on the field throughout the rest of practice. Then we'll move on from there. The guy that I'm down on, I just want to bring that up because we talked about our guys that we were up on after the second preseason game. I'm not gonna bang the hammer on somebody here. I'm gonna bang Connor. I got a Connor. I'm gonna go Connor.
Okay.
Just because I thought he'd be better at center. Like I thought, as an athlete and everything, he could complete the snap. And my goodness, there's been this experiment with Connor Williams at center. After the Arizona game, everybody's like, no. This is a wrap. It's over. He can't do it because he can't snap the damn ball. Right. So my down guy is going to be Connor Williams at center. Go ahead, Nick.
I would add Gilbert to that. I think it's his job to lose for QB2.
Right.
The dude looks like he's a little hesitant to pull the trigger out there. He hasn't played as well as we've seen him play, and I don't know. It just seems like he hasn't done what he needs to do. Just be like, hey, yeah, this is my job. This is easy, But
but man, he had bad stats from Connor.
A little slow out there.
Okay, but he had bad stats from Connor. He had Michael Gallup drop a possible touchdown pass. If we're talking about the totality, but I'm with you. I mean,
most of this is actually probably from week 1. And a little bit, it seems like he presses a little bit once he gets into the red zone. It looks like he just once it gets a little crowded, it looks like he's a little scared to, just let it rip. So that's a minor one.
Are you buying the Nucci? Are you buying the Nucci? Nick, are you buying the Nucci after
not.
Arizona?
Definitely not. Not buying Romo Jr. It's Gilbert or someone that's getting cut in the next couple weeks. That's kind of where I'm at with QB.
All right, and look, and we're kind of getting away from the Hard Knocks side, but we'll dive into this. We kind of let this show go where it goes. So no, it's okay. It's okay. I like it. Let me ask y'all this question, and Spoon, I'm gonna start with you.
Okay.
Does it really matter? Does it really matter who's the backup? Honestly, to you?
No, it does.
Okay, talk about it.
The reason why I say it does is because, like I said, we don't know how it's a 17-game season. It's one more game.
Right.
Than the previous play. We want to see how Dak plays during the year. We never know if anything gets re-aggravated or whatever. God forbid, another injury happens. You want to have a guy who could be able to manage this type of offense. And the offense that we have is an offense that is pretty much a quarterback's dream. The problem is that, and point out to what Nick was saying, I totally agree with him, and I've been saying it on Twitter a lot of times, is that who's his competition? It's nobody really. I mean, it's Cooper. BJ, how many years have you been saying already Cooper Rush has no NFL arm?
Oh no, I've been out there. Look, Chad Pennington, for those that are old school football fans, Chad Pennington has a rocket arm compared to Cooper Rush. I've said this a ton, but I mean, it just is what it is.
Right, and then and come to find out, also, I recall with Jay Tuck, I said the last time. There you go. Speaking of Jay Tuck, there you go, right there. Jay Tuck, I came out and says, you know what? You want to see reps. You want to see him throwing the football. You want to see if he gets hit a little bit. Yeah. How's he going to manage? Remember, since week 5. Now, again, I'm more. If we're going to take about the rust off of somebody, I'm more about playing a series, or at least a first quarter. A series of 2 is not so much, but maybe 5 series the most. But you want to see Dak in action do something. You want to see the comfortability. From a lot of months has been off from the surgery. So that's the main thing. For me, if you're going to stay with DiNucci and if you want to stay with Garrett Gilbert, I want to see DiNucci and Garrett Gilbert switch. Them swap. I want to see how DiNucci will handle with this offense. If that's the plan going forward, which I hope that it's not, but that's the way it seemed like it because McCarthy said he loves DiNucci a lot. Now, looking at Hard Knocks, he has that mojo. You can see he has that
mojo moment.
That mojo, that I'll say Tony Romo mentality, right? He doesn't look, he has that. But the thing is, now all we've seen DiNucci is what? Playing with the fourth stringers, right? Guys who may not even make the team. If you're so high on him, swap. Let's see DiNucci run with the second unit, and let's see.
Right. You're not wrong. Spoonie, I'm definitely picking up what you're putting down.
Right.
Flip them and see what you got. Flip them and see what you got.
Right. So
Nick. All right. So let's pivot. Nick.
The only thing I'll say, real quick, the only thing I'll say is it seems like DiNucci has a little bit of an issue processing what he's seeing. So I'm not sure how much it would help running with the twos compared to, say, the threes or fours. It seems like he's unsure of where he should go with the ball, which that just takes time. That's just continuing to learn an NFL offense.
Right.
So, again, not saying the dude should never pick up a football again. I'm just not sure he's ready to be that guy quite yet.
Okay. Right.
So, practice squad guy, again, he'd be super valuable on a practice squad with how fast he is, being able to, scramble and
scout
run.
Team.
He could mimic a lot of athletic quarterbacks out there. So I'm totally for that and letting him continue to learn.
Okay.
Yeah. Look, and I completely agree. For me, some of the mechanics too, not just the processing. He throws a lot off of his back foot when there's no pressure. Mm-hmm. It's worrisome. Mm-hmm. It's very worrisome. But if you want to give him a chance to run with the twos or the ones per se, whatever we got, lined up, okay, give him the run. But I'm with you, and I've said this before. I actually said it on the podcast with my guy Dave Sergio. I was like, hey, he's not on the 53. He is for sure a dadgum scout team, aka practice squad guy. That's what I think. But Gilbert would be enough to be damned. Let's go to this because I got Tucks in the building. He's got a good question here. Tuck, you got the inbox if you want to join, by the way. With that being said, are you worried about Dak, as he said? And he doubled down with no preseason, 3 weeks of no team practice reps. Now, are you concerned about Dak? Obviously what we would say at that point is, are you concerned, I guess, about week 1? Or week 2, or the first couple of weeks? Are you concerned in any way, shape, or form when it pertains to Dak with no preseason and 3 weeks of no practice reps currently? Nick, are you concerned about Dak?
I'm not as concerned as most from what it seems like. Anytime you're missing reps, that's something to worry about. That's something that not every quarterback handles, especially a younger quarterback handles well. Do I still think Dak's going to come out week 1 and play very well? Yeah. I think this team has a lot of moving parts, and that concerns me more than the lack of reps for Dak. So he was throwing a ton during the offseason before training camp even started. He had a good start to it. As long as he gets a couple weeks or like a week or starts, be fine. The loss of reps in actual preseason games, I really honestly don't care. To be honest, I'm not a big preseason guy. I think it's good, but I don't think it's necessarily a necessity for vets, at least. Okay.
Spoonie, are you worried about Dak and the lack of preseason, the lack of the past few weeks of non-practicing? What do you think?
I'm not too worried. I do want to see him get some reps. I really do. But if they're going off for the safety of his shoulder just to make sure, I'd rather it not. Because in week 1, let's be honest, we're going up against the Super Bowl champions, and when you look at that offense and you look at our secondary, we are going to be tested a lot, and that would be a game where Dak's arm would definitely be needed because he's going to be he might have to be score for score, if they score on us like that. But I'm not too worried. I do want him to get in there, a couple of reps, put it to bed, let it go. Listen, in the past, I believe it was last year during the preseason, he came in for a couple of series and that was it. So, I know it's a little bit different with the injury and the time he's missed, but a couple of series here and there, maybe 4 at the most, and that's it.
I'm gonna give you an unpopular opinion. I think overall it might be an unpopular opinion, but I'm gonna say it anyways. I would be more worried if it was Romo than Dak. I'm just going to be honest with you, because I think that. Let me rephrase. Let me put some parentheses here. Dak's going in what year now? What year is he going into, guys? Right, year 5, right?
Year 5,
yeah. We had to wait for look, and not a knock on Romo, but things are just happening. Once he got paid, then we heard Jerry come out. Well, now he's going to be Peyton Manning. Now he's going to be Peyton Manning, right? We heard that when he got paid, right? And these things like the Cabo shit that happened, whatever, so on and so forth. For me with Dak, Romo never built a football field in his backyard to throw. It's just certain things. Look, this is not a slight to Romo. Trust me, I love Romo. I don't want to get crucified here. I don't want to get crucified here by Cowboys Nation. But I'm telling you, I would be worried more about this preseason lack of rep stuff like that with the Romo more than Dak because they're just built differently. Right. And that's not a bad thing on Romo. It just is what it is. And the game has changed some too, right? The game has changed some since Romo's been here to where we are now. We got to think about it. Romo played in Texas Stadium, ladies and gentlemen. And that's gone. It's a different game. The game has changed. They had to protect themselves. We kind of talked about this a little bit earlier for those who have been here the entire time about, man, hey, McCarthy really has to save Dak from himself and what he's doing and how he's throwing and things that are happening. So I'm not really that concerned about it. Now, I have been on the fence because I'm an old school guy. I'm old, guys. I'm old. All right. I'm old. And I do believe that preseason matters a ton. I really do. I'm a big stickler about preseason. I am. Because without preseason, you don't end up with a Romo. Here's the flip side of that coin. You don't end up with a Miles Austin, right? Like certain guys, you just don't end up. Look, Jay Ratliff, a 7th round pick without preseason. Maybe you don't end up with a Jay Ratliff. Like, so I do believe that preseason is important. However, we have to look at different guys and what's going on and what's happening. Yep. And it has to be case by case. We can't put a umbrella over it all. And we have to understand that it matters case by case. And when I get to the case of Dak Prescott, Mr. Rain, I'm not really worried about it. Yes, would I like to see him play against the Texans? Because he wants to play, yes. If I want, and my guy Matt asked the question, well, how long does he need to play? Right? There's been this whole thing. My guy Dan Rupert as well. Is that really going to make the difference? Burgers and Blitzes even, right? He was like, well, I mean, 8 weeks into the season, or those 2 or 3 drives going to really matter? I'm not really worried about that because I think that's convoluted. What I think it means is if Dak needs the mental reps to do it, and that makes him feel better going into week 1, then I want him to go out there for I don't care if it's 2, 3, a half. If Dak wants to take 2 snaps for his mentals, I'm here for it. Yeah. That's where I'm at. Outside of that, I don't really give a damn about. Look, I don't think that Dak going out there and playing and throwing the ball is going to make a difference in how he throws a ball right now to week 1, week 2, week 3. What I'm talking about is between the ears and how he feels. He missed a lot of time last year. I'm not even talking about he needs to be hit or not. Just him live reps, and for him mentally, it makes him better, and that makes him feel better because it matters. Right. That's where I'm at when it comes to him. Now, if he sits and so on and so forth, I'm not worried about it. My only side was Dak and how he feels in between the ears, if that makes him feel better. Does that make sense to y'all, Nick?
Absolutely. So I was going to actually say that, cut in and say that. So I think my biggest concern with him missing time in preseason was the mental side of it. And maybe not necessarily the mental side as far as like processing and just being on the field, but more of just getting over the fact that he just came off of a major injury and being able to be like, hey, I'm here, I can play. But to be honest, from what I've seen, he seems like he's already forgotten about that. So that's why I'm not as stressed about it. It seems mentally he's ready to go, and he could play a game tomorrow if he had to. That just seems like the makeup of the guy, So that's kind of where I'm at. But like you said, if he wants to get one series, if he wants to throw a ball 2 times or whatever, like Brady did this last week, let him. But I don't think it's a necessity. I don't think it's going to make a difference with really how he's going to play week 1. I think he's going to be the same player. I mean, if we're being honest, he's not a great practice player. He's never been that type of guy. So it's like, it is what it is. I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be the same person regardless of how many snaps he gets.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Smoke. Yeah, go ahead, Smoke. Go ahead, Smoke.
Yeah, to add on to that, because remember, Dak Prescott also had a therapist in the offseason just to get over his ankle injury. So that is a great point by you two about playing just to get over instead of just the rust, it's more of the mental aspect of him getting touched and stuff like that, getting used to that speed again. It's different when you're practicing, when you know you can't be touched versus you are out in a live game where they can't touch you. And once you being involved in it and you just blanks out everything else, we're gonna know exactly where he's at, because come September, Thursday night football opening night, we going to Tampa Bay, and this is where they get their rings at, X, Y, and Z. We got to be spoilers, but we also have to be ready. So that's a great point as far as the mental aspect.
Yeah. And tuck in there with until he gets hit, he'll never fully know. And that goes back to what I was talking about. In between the ears, mentally, what he needs to feel better to go forward before we get to regular season. Go ahead, Nick.
And real quick, and on top of what Tuck said, I think not only just get hit, but the first time he has to scramble,
you go, right.
run, which he's not going to do in a preseason game. So until he gets that first where, hey, I got to run for 3 yards and use my legs and actually know that someone's going to come down and hit me, I think that's when he'll know that, hey, I'm good. But again, you're not really going to simulate that in a preseason game. You're going to freaking throw it into the dirt, throw it out of bounds.
Unless you're Romo and you let somebody sit on your back and you lose your career. Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry. But with that being aside, and look, and we don't really know, because McCarthy said we're thinking he didn't say think. He's like, well, how did he coin it? He didn't rule out that Dak wasn't going to play. He didn't rule out. He just kind of let it's unlikely. I think that's the term he used. It's unlikely he'll play, but he didn't rule it out. But ladies and gentlemen, Cowboys Nation, starting affiliates, Nick, Spoonie, if Leo Collins ain't playing, your right tackle, I know it's not the left tackle, but if you ain't got your full complement of offensive linemen, guys,
no point.
Do you really want Dak out there against the Texans? Look, the Texans got a ton of problems. Okay, a ton. Look, the Texans might win 2 games next year. I don't know, but do you really want Dak out there without the full complement of his offense? Forget the weapons, the offensive linemen. And that's kind of what that's kind of what I look at. When it comes to that standpoint, when we talked about Leo Collins and the injury that he had today, that they're quote unquote not worried about, right? Obviously, the same energy though for Zeke, right? He's not going to have a carry this whole preseason, and I see this banter of, oh well, y'all ain't worried about Zeke, so why you worried about Dak? Guys, can we be honest here? Can we be honest? Zeke played last year, okay, and he's a running back. It's the quarterback position is unique and very different. I don't understand these knee jerk. Oh well, he's not playing. So Dak shouldn't play, or this shouldn't play, or whatever. It's like, can we not really look at it overall and understand things are just different in general? Like Nick, I see you smiling. Go ahead.
At what point does it stop? Do we need to get make sure we get some punter snaps in preseason?
The leg ain't playing. The leg's not playing yet.
The running back position's not the same as the quarterback position. I do see the difference there. Shelve Zeke until week 1. That's
right.
Come on, that shouldn't even be a discussion.
Right. Spoonie, let me ask you this. Let's pivot back over here, because we're getting a little off track a little bit. I do want to, as we're covering, episode 2. How about that Donovan Wilson? How about Donovan Wilson with the, let him hang, if you will?
Yeah, let him hang. Listen, that and again, have we ever seen Donovan Wilson in any speeches, whatever, in the past? Not really. Barely played. But when you see guys come out and with that type of energy, and as far as fans, us fans, for the first time hearing them, wow, it's like music to our ears. It was awesome. I love the fact. I love how Zeke was there repeating what he was saying. Like, that's what I'm talking about. It's a culture change. It's definitely a culture change there, and I love it. I loved it.
Yeah, again, a pivot, a different thing. Here's the thing for me. Look, we're doing these different, where it was McCarthy early on and off the rip and talking.
Yeah.
Then we had him. Then we had Donovan Wilson do his thing. For me, it was Zeke. And Zeke latched onto it, right? And Zeke is like, yeah, let him hang and do everything. Man, I tell you what. Look, and we knew Zeke's always been a big kid and everything. Man, I so much love Zeke's energy and how he does and what he does. But with that being said, the hang and whatever, to me, I just go back to, and Nick, I'll let you respond on the Donovan Wilson thing and whatnot. It's just, man, this team really feels like they missed the opportunity last year. Whether it was Dak or not, just in general, they missed the opportunity last year. And it just kind of seems that if we look at the small corners, the peaks, the turns, and how they talk and how they carry themselves, it seems like the players that are here from last year feel that, and they want to not do that again. Same thing for you, or no?
No, I think there's a renewed energy on this team. And I think you see guys having fun. You see guys bonding. I kind of go back to, what year was it? 2018, 2019,
Okay.
2018 maybe, where you see a lot of defensive players hanging out with offensive players. You don't see that on normal teams. And then you see Zeke and Dak just cheering on this defensive performance of the other night's game. Like, that's awesome. Like, these guys are engaged with each other. They're bonding. They're joking around. Like, it's very cool energy. One thing, and this is kind of off topic, but the one thing I've noticed is the energy that these players are showing towards the coaching staff is different. Like, not necessarily a head coach, but like the position coach. Like, I love the segment they had with the D-line coach. Like, I thought that was awesome. These dudes love that dude. And so, and not gonna lie, the Donovan Wilson part, I might have missed that because I'm not exactly sure what you guys are talking about. But
Donovan Wilson before. Hold on. No, say less. Just keep talking. I'll pull it up. Just keep talking about whatever you want to talk about. I'll pull it up.
Okay.
No worries.
But these dudes, especially, I think my favorite part was them walking off the field. I think it was after the Rams joint practice they're highlighting. And they were literally giving the D-line coach just shit about his accent. But they were still working. And I just thought that was a really cool segment. I thought that was awesome. You didn't see stuff like that. You didn't see these guys bonding with Nolan and his guys that much last year. There was kind of a weird tension, I feel like. Again, we didn't have HBO covering it, but it was just a different feel, in my opinion.
Hey, look, low key, right? Basham's UK London accent. My goodness.
It was spot
on. Good. He was so good. What about you?
On.
Yeah. Spoon. What do you think about the accent? No, I love that he was sitting in the chair, right? And he was giving the accent, he was giving the talk, and then the coach walked in. He's like, "Oh, dadgummit, I got caught."
The sense of humor. I love it how they have it where you can have the sense of humor, and we could turn it on, turn it off. It's time we could joke around X, Y, and Z, and then we could turn it off and just go to practice. And I loved it. Terrell Basham is something to look. Is definitely something to look at forward. 2-year deal. He did some very good things with the New York Jets. And a lot of Jet fans was very displeased when they just let him go. And I believe there's a reason why the Cowboys do have him for a 2-year deal, because they really want to invest in him and see what's going on. But I just love how he was with the defensive line coach, and even Jerry Jones loved him. Jerry Jones was speaking highly about him, the way he coaches and stuff like that. It's different energy in Dallas right now with the players and coaches, and I really do feel great things in the future.
Yeah, you know what I love about real quick. I'm gonna tell you what I love real quick. I'm gonna tell you what I love about this clip I'm about to show y'all real quick. Donovan Wilson on the pre-snap, right? On the pre-snap is as soon as I went and searched for it, man, I was over on Twitter. Guess who had it? My guy Spoonie. Spoonie had it. Hold on. I'm gonna throw it up here real quick. Hold up. I want to share the screen, man. Come on, stop playing with me. Man, we're on the live tip and we're having a good time right now. Hold on just a second. Share screen. Boom. Yes, please. Yes, I'm hitting the left. Go ahead.
While you're doing that, for how good Basham's English impression was, how bad was Jerry's English impression? That was terrible, but it was so funny. He was trying. He was trying.
By all means, just put the salt, please. Just put the salt back on the McGriddle, and look, and don't worry about it. How about that? Here we go. From my guy Spoonie, who shared it as you know, hit that boom, and here you go. Look at Zeke.
Here we go.
Let it hang.
And Zeke was locked in. Zeke is very
right. And look, and that matters, right? So Donovan's doing. He said, "No matter preseason or not, let that hang." So on and so forth. But what you saw in this episode 2 was Dak, Zeke, those guys engaged with them. And look, and we got to be honest with ourselves, guys. These are the veterans now. They're not the young guys no more. And I think a lot of people, I do believe this. I think a lot of Cowboys Nation still look at Zeke and Dak like, oh, well, they're the babies. They're the young guys. They're over here. Ladies and gentlemen, they've been in the league 5 years. They're the vets. They're the leaders. And when you are watching Hard Knocks and you're seeing a Zeke be involved that way, and we watched it throughout, the episode. During the game, he got seeds, coaches, vets, rooks. I got seeds. Oh, I ran out of seeds. I got more seeds. It doesn't matter, right? We're watching Dak, right? We saw the picture with Dak and all the offensive weapons behind him. And we've seen these things like, look, we knew, and we heard this from 16, that Dak was a leader. Witten and Dez said and talks about him being a leader. And we're in 21. I think sometimes Cowboys Nation gets washed up in that they're still young and they're the young. No. They're the leaders now. Dak and Zeke are the guys. And along with D-Law, I'm not taking D-Law out of the equation, but my God, I mean, Michael Parsons, what he's doing on that side of the ball, that you kind of know what kind of leader maybe he might be. But these guys are leaders now. And Donovan Wilson does that, and a leader says, I'm going to take that from this guy. I'm going to permeate that in preseason. I'm going to permeate that and do those things. And I think for us as Cowboys fans, in general, and content creators and stuff like that, we have to start embracing Dak and Zeke as we've embraced Dak as a leader. We have to do the same thing for Zeke now as well. He might be funny and he's a big kid or whatever, but you know what he does? He resonates with those guys. Yeah, and that matters. Like, we might think he's he's funny, he's a kid, and he might get in trouble. Look, here's the thing. When's the last time you got in trouble, Spoon?
Oh, man.
Yeah, when's the last time you got right. Because everybody thinks that he gets in trouble.
Right.
He doesn't get in trouble. And when he got in trouble, nothing was proven. Meanwhile, we got a quarterback down, daggum 59, the FBI. What? Look, now see, now I'm about to get live. We got a quarterback down 59 in Houston that the FBI's on.
Right.
I don't wish no ill will on that guy. I don't care about. Look. I hope nothing is really ill will with him. But I'm looking at the NFL and how they move, and they ain't said a damn thing about him yet. Hell, they're still trying to trade him per se. My guy Zeke did a basically Mardi Gras thing and pulled a shirt down. Okay, his bad. He's a young buck. And he still had children. She didn't press her. Like, she was chilling with him and whatever. But we're seeing Zeke come into his own as a leader and paying attention to his body and doing the right things. These guys know because Dak and him are attached at the hip, and they're doing the right things now. Dak always did those, for sure. But Zeke's coming along for the ride as well. If that doesn't excite you about the season, I don't know what will.
Well, may I add on to this to you fellas. Also, I didn't share this video. I just thought about it right now. But it was a part of Hard Knocks where you saw CeeDee Lamb and Michael Parsons at the end, right? At the end of practice, and you have the Rams offensive lineman standing right there. So Parsons goes up to CeeDee Lamb and goes, "How you do over there with the offense?" He goes, "Man, listen, swag." He was just like, "Listen, you couldn't hold me. You already know what it is." And then the same question was going to Parsons. Parsons goes, "Listen, that line couldn't hold me. You already know." So, and we all know these are the two future stars on this team moving forward. Very fortunate to have both of them drafted by the Cowboys,
right,
in their spots.
Now, Spoon. I'm gonna put you on blast.
Okay,
I'm about to do it.
Okay,
because you wanted to trade 2 first-round picks for Jamal Adams.
Yes, I did.
Jay Tuck's in the building. He did too.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm glad it never happened.
Okay, because that's CeeDee Lamb and Parsons currently.
I'm glad it never happened. I'm happy it never happened.
But go ahead. I'll let you ride out.
It's just when you have that swag, players able to be themselves. Again, not trying to judge or compare to the past, but we all know what the past was about. This is different. And under the leadership of Dak Prescott and Zeke, who have went through things in the NFL, saw things in the NFL, they could be able to tell these kids how to move going forward. Show them examples, a lot of different things that can happen during the offseason. Be careful how you spend your time. Those are the things. And again, this team is, I guess, they said the 5th youngest team in the NFL. Wow, just wow. And when you're able to have these young guys like Dak and Zeke take over that leadership role, right? Now on defensive side, when we talk about defense, we always say D-Law. D-Law is 29 years old. D-Law soon will be that guy where, listen, I did my part. We need somebody else to step up. Donovan Wilson, doing what he just did right there in that huddle, that's a step. And all that's going to do is spread to other players to basically become that guy. Put out your performance, do the best you can. And listen, Malik Hooker, the safety, just wait and see with that.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Look, I'm happy. I'm very happy we got Malik Hooker. I'm not a fan of the 28 on him. I'm just
Yeah, me either. I'm not.
I'm not a fan of the 28. Now if they had signed him for a long-term deal and he's going to be the guy, maybe I feel a little bit different, or the lineage of 28. I am not a fan of the 28. But neither here nor there. I'll let you go ahead and back door there, Nick. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. For one, I actually don't care about him wearing the 28. I don't care.
Really?
Put him in number 12 for all I care. I don't care. That's not my thing.
You know what's funny? What's funny?
Did you? No. God! Look! I turned out the lights. Look at me! I turned out the lights.
You know what's funny?
Did you? How old are you, dadgummit? Did you watch the 90s? Were you around for those?
Not a numbers guy. Never have been a numbers guy. I think I wore like 4 different jersey numbers in college, and it was just like, nah, just throw me whatever one actually fits and hides my gut. That was literally it. That's all I cared about.
Fair enough.
It's funny what Nick just said, because I just started my Madden franchise with the Cowboys, and Malik Hooker is wearing number 12.
There you go.
He's wearing number 12. I didn't change his number yet, but
he definitely can't wear Captain. He can't wear Roger Staubach's. What are we talking about?
Yeah, Diamond Woods is 28.
Jesus Christ.
That is something.
But neither here nor there. And I'll pivot off of that.
And real quick, if we could just rewind real quick, we talking about players acting themselves and kind of doing their own thing.
Yes.
And I don't think this was highlighted on Hard Knocks, not positive, but I did see the clip shortly after it just on Twitter. But man, watching CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper, who's starting to practice and everything, work together on their routes and how they're getting open and just their footwork.
Brother,
talking about the old guys. Amari Cooper is a savvy vet now, and he's what, 27?
And that's a crazy thing, right? And that's crazy.
And then you have young Lamb just being able to learn and follow in his footsteps. Oh, fantastic! That was one of my favorite things that I've seen on Twitter in a while. I was like, yes, please, be a sponge, learn everything.
Yes, and also as we're talking about CeeDee Lamb as it pertains to Hard Knocks, we saw that candle. that was it white peach, whatever. He's like, hey, look, I'm all about sense. I'm all about sense. If it smells bad, I'm out. And I was like, okay, my man's he's on the candle train and everything. I said, all right, CD, I mean, brother, I see you. I feel you. But no, you're not wrong there, Nick. I mean, man, you take the raw talent and what he's able to do coming into this league. And I was a big fan. I was again, whenever we were ready, I mean, I was telling people back in December, man, if the Cowboys get CeeDee Lamb, I was a big guy, CeeDee Lamb. People would say I was crazy we wouldn't get him. I mean, just whatever. And then you get him here with a technician that Amari Cooper is, for him to be a sponge and get that. My goodness. Like, and look, and Amari Cooper is A1. Look, I don't know if there's a better route runner in the NFL than Amari Cooper. If there is, he's number 2. Look, I don't know if you can talk to me even about number 3, but my guy Canner. Both. I mean, you're right. You're not wrong there for him. He should get a sponsorship. New Yankee Candle, Bed, was it Bath Body Works, whatever. Yeah, all that. But boy, if he's able to soak that up for a couple of years and do that, oh my God, this guy. Look, we've seen a lot of 88s, right? Drew. I mean, Irvin, the forgotten 88, Mr. Antonio Brown, who was and I will always say this.
Antonio Brown, yeah.
You go look at Antonio Brown and what he did in Pittsburgh. You look what he did in Dallas. And go look at what he did in Tampa after he left here because he threw the practice jersey. And Antonio Brown was a stud at wide receiver. Okay, it just didn't pan out the right way for him. Bad timing to be on the Cowboys and whatever. And then obviously Dez, and we know what Dez meant to this team. There's no doubt that CeeDee Lamb can be the unequivocal number 188 all time here, partly because when he got here, and the other side, as Nick just talked about, him being with Amari Cooper for a few years and being that technician, that technician of running routes and going to the next level, man, that is a blessing for Cowboys Nation. Facts.
I have a quiz for y'all. Speaking of 88, you do know.
Oh, here we go.
And
all right.
If Jerry Jones or DallasCowboy.com is watching, you owe Spoonie something for me putting this out there.
Okay.
So there's an 88.
Yeah.
There's an 88 number that's been put that has not been shown at all. And it was somebody wore it in 2000, 2001. I mean, that was right right before Antonio Bryant wore it. You guys know how it is, right?
Yeah.
See BJ smiling. Nick, you know what it is?
No.
Tell the people, Spoon.
Jackie Harris.
There it is.
Jackie Harris, who played for the Packers. He wore number 88 for 2 years with Dallas.
Yeah. But, I mean, that didn't count, though. That didn't count.
Jackie in there.
But going back to Hard Knocks, man, I think the other thing, too, like, after they got through with the game, things happen, whatever. Should have won the game. Bogus holding call. The strip sack, whatever. Yeah. Here we are, man. You can literally see. And one thing I want to ask y'all, this, because I think you could see the players were like, we're going back to Dallas. We're going back to Frisco. I'm big on this. I don't think the Cowboys should leave Dallas for training camp. I just am. I'm very big on that because they have look, it's not back in the day like it's all outdoors, Valley Ranch or whatever. They got indoor facilities. You can practice outdoors. You can do either or, whatever you want to do. Look at the weather, do whatever. You can do that. There's literally no point. Look at the field this year they practiced on in Oxnard. It was horrible. Like you spent all this money on Frisco with all these different venues and everything for everybody. Maybe prior to Frisco, okay, I kind of get it. Now, there's literally zero reason for them to go to Oxnard, in my opinion, because you have indoor, outdoor, you can pick and choose, do whatever you want to do. Are y'all a buyer of that from my standpoint, or are y'all like Oxnard, or y'all don't like Oxnard? Spoony, I'll start with you.
Well, my experience, I went to Oxnard, 2017 to watch the training camp, and I'll tell you this right now, I would prefer for them to go to stay in Frisco.
Yeah.
Yeah, in my opinion, only because I don't like the traveling back and forth on 3 different occasions, to go here, to be here, X, Y, and Z.
My guy Mass is in Cali. I know what he's saying.
Oh, I'm sorry for anybody who's in California who's enjoying it. Listen, I wish I was living in Cali just to go to training camp there. But I'd rather them stay in Frisco. To me, it's much more. You got the indoor, you got the outdoor. It's not so much going on, not so much traveling. That's just my opinion.
Nick,
are you a fan of that, or do you want to go to Oxnard still?
Honestly, I hadn't thought about it much before you said that, and honestly, from a player's perspective, it makes more sense to stay in Frisco. Like you said, they have the facilities, they have their own homes. I do think it's kind of cool that they get to go out of town and bond with their teams, but they are also doing that every other weekend during the season, basically.
Right.
So not a huge deal. This is Jerry doing Jerry things, and it's for the fans. And I think it is a cool experience to go out there and visit them and have that. But you can kind of mimic a lot of that stuff in Frisco. So honestly, like keep them in Texas, I guess. I mean, that I'm completely fine. Like you said, they don't have to worry about the Texas heat. They have indoor facilities. It's
and the same people will travel here anyways. It's not really a big deal. It saves you money. I mean, look, not that the Cowboys need to save money. We know where they are. But I mean, it saves you money. The players can be comfortable in their own homes. Mm-hmm. And the people that go out there and see you in Oxnard and Cali or whatever will come right here and see you anyways. Yeah. So I just, for me, how about this one? I'll take it a step further, guys. Kind of free out there in Oxnard for people to come out and see, right? Kind of free. That doesn't cost you much. It doesn't cost you a whole lot. Yeah. However, if we want to see the Cowboys in our hometown, it's going to cost. We get about a week. We get about a couple of practices there towards the end, and we can see them. And then after that, you got to pay to go in the door. For me personally, look, Jerry probably loves the wine out there. I get that because Steven has him on the 7-Eleven wine. He's kind of on a cow pitch count, if you will. Out there's a little bit different. But yeah, I mean, you spent this money, you've done all these things to bring money there and do things in Frisco. And I just think at this point in time, it makes more sense to keep them here, do it that way, and then figure it out. But I mean, what do I know? What do I know? Oh, as my guy Ken just said, the ground is rough. And yes, I agreed. One of my points I said, man, we saw players slipping left and right all the time. And you can control that here in Dallas because you have more hands on. But
you think if you're going away from your home field and what, like you said, what you can manage, that field better be pristine. And it was far from it. And I'm honestly surprised we haven't seen more injuries early in preseason or in training camp.
Lucky. We were very lucky, Nick. I agree. We were very boy, you saw Randy Gregory, you saw I mean, you just saw a lot of different people just slipping and sliding. I was like, we were all like on Twitter and everyone like, this is not good. Shout out to our look, and we know. We are forget nationwide, we're worldwide, and it gives our California fans a great experience. I do understand that. And look, I know my guy Tuck went out there. I know my guy Big Game James went out there. Law, who is home base, went out there. Like all these different guys, and Vooch and obviously Botch and all these went on 5.3, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, all right, you're going to go where they go. But I'm just like, yeah, but you just do it here and be more controlled. I guess maybe that's my point. It'd be a more controlled atmosphere to make sure the guys are good. And I just, for me, I just kind of thought about it that way. And like, you spend all this money and whatnot, let's bring the money here. Let's do it this way. And
for the fans,
that part. Gallup flipped over silly stuff that shouldn't have happened.
Right.
Mass, my bearded brother. I love you, but man, come on out here. I got a place for you. I got you. It's fine.
And on top of that, too, the apartments out there are nice too because to stay at the Star is about 27 a month, 2,700 a month. So
Right.
that the wife keeps talking about moving to Texas.
So obviously we're heading into next week.
Mhm.
I'll tell you what, guys. As everything's kind of panning out, man. Not many starters against the Texans. And then we got another game after the Texans, guys. My God. So let me get your projections. Who? Because there's going to be look. Forget the top tier, right? Who has whose biggest opportunity is the next 2 weeks? We'll get out here on this. We've got an hour and 10 minutes. Nick, I've kept you a little bit long. I'm sorry. So for the next 2 weeks, there's ample opportunity here. Who do you think is the guy that will walk through that door? Spoony?
Oh, I have 3 guys. And
Let's go. I like it. So he's got not 1, not 2, but
I have 3. But
let's
I can't be
go,
greedy. I can be greedy. All right.
Yeah, be greedy.
All right. I have of course I'm gonna have Doris Armstrong. I think for the game he had last week, and I mean I thought he was on the cut list, and boom. I mean, I really do. He'll continue that his play. My second guy is Kelvin Joseph. I see Kelvin Joseph here with a pick 6. I'm seeing it.
Spoon.
I am seeing it. And I'm gonna say this. I have to say this. My guy Malik Hooker.
Let's go, Spoon.
He's gonna be mine everybody because that's
number 28.
I said number 28. He said it. Remember what I said, BJ, back in February.
You did. No, go for it. No, Spoon. Absolutely correct. Go ahead.
I said Malik Hooker, in my opinion, during that free agency, if he was not injured, he is the best safety. Man, we're talking about a first-round pick. He was top 5 his first 2 years in the NFL.
No.
Was it?
No, I don't think it was top 5, bro.
Top 5? Wasn't top 5 that year?
No, I don't think it was top. To a draft pick wise?
No. I'm talking about as far as
ranking. Okay, I got you. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. Allow me to shut the hell up. My bad.
So I think Malik Hooker, in my opinion, is going to come in here and really secure that safety spot. I think he has the most potential. We all know he has high ceiling. Just the injuries have slowed him down. So those are my 3 right there.
Nick, 2-week opportunity.
I think if you look at I've already mentioned it before. If you go back to the interior D line, Osa and Bohanna have a chance to help this team realize that they don't need to get someone from the outside until they get Gallimore back. I think they have a very good chance to establish themselves as contributors and then start early in the season. So those are my 2 guys to watch. Like you said, a lot of starters are going to be out, so it's kind of tough to get a read on a lot of other positions. Kelvin Joseph was my other guy because I still think he is still competing, and I think they want to give him the position. Obviously, he's a rookie, so he's going to have to go above and beyond to beat out some of those veteran guys that are getting snaps. But so also gave 3. Those are my 3 guys. Not leaving with a lot of guys.
No, you're good. I do want to be clear though, because a lot of people look. We love what Nation Wright's doing. We enjoy what Nation Wright's doing, right? But we have to understand this Cowboys Nation is he's not competing for second QB yet or a second cornerback yet. He's literally the second guy behind Diggs. That's just where he's at right now. They haven't given him the green light to go on the other side. Literally, it's Brown versus Joseph. That's where we are now. That could change, but right now it's Brown versus Joseph. I'm with you, Nick. I've said it on the outset of camp that the best thing for Cowboys Nation is Joseph, or they give Wright the opportunity to go forward and win the cornerback 2 position. I definitely agree there. The next 2 weeks, look. Unpopular opinion coming in. I'm sorry. Unpopular opinion. Oh, let me get some. Oh, yeah. Boom. Absolutely. I love Bohanna. You already know, Mark. Mendoza. Rondell Carter. And look, he flashed week 2. He definitely
Carter,
flashed week
Anai,
2.
and Armstrong. Those guys.
Yeah, he definitely.
Yep.
Oh, now with the
Nick, say the first name again, sir.
Osa Digizua.
Yeah, Osa. Let's go. And look, America's H-back. Don't say fullback. He'll be an H-back. And I'm with that, especially with Suo's injury now. I'm going to say it, guys. I'm looking at my crystal ball. Unpopular. I'll come back and own it. I'm going to come back and own it if I'm wrong. I think Benucci's about to outperform Gilbert the next 2 weeks.
Ooh, I had a feeling you was going to go with that. Wow.
I think, you know, look, shout out to my guy Dave, and we had that talk, and we actually talked about it, the very top half of this, and I said, I don't think he's going to be here, Brad's squad, but I look at everything, I think about everything. I think Ben DiNucci, the guy that has the biggest opportunity the next 2 weeks, the guy that has the biggest opportunity the next 2 weeks is Ben DiNucci. He can either solidify himself as the backup or, hey, good sir, boom, go that way.
I love that.
And, man, I'm going to tell you what. I actually think, look, here's my reasoning why. I'm not just shooting off the hip here, guys. I'm not just saying, well, I just want to get on this microphone and just shoot hot takes and see what happens. That's not what I'm doing.
Right.
Here's my thought process. What was the biggest thing about Mike McCarthy as a head coach? Forget everything. Forget the Aaron Brooks down there in New Orleans that he coached up or whatever. I'm strictly talking about in Green Bay. In Green Bay. What was the biggest thing that they talked about when it came to Mike McCarthy? What did he do, guys? He coached up quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Right. The Flynn's of the world. I mean, we can kind of go down the line of what he did, right? Okay. I get it. It's a little bit of a rub because his brother coached Nucci basketball, whatever. But I watched Nucci, and I went back and watched it not once, but twice this past week. 2 times. I watched this game 2 times. 3 times. 3 times altogether. First game I watched twice. This game I watched 3. Because I watched it once. I was like, I watched it 2. I was like, wait a minute. What am I thinking? And I went to the 3rd time. I was like, look, there are issues. I look, and I'm not running from the issues, especially off the back foot shit.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not a quarterback on this roster outside. I'm talking about Dak. Remove Dak. There's not a quarterback on this roster with better arm talent than Ben DiNucci. You might not like it. You can run from it. It's factual. I don't care if he's still on sidearm or not. There's not a quarterback, arm talent wise, outside of Dak, that's better than DiNucci. So that's why I say the opportunity is now. Mm-hmm. Can he do something the next 2 games to leapfrog Gilbert? The talent's there. Can he put it together?
Right.
That's where I'm at. I'm not saying that he will. I'm not saying that he won't. I'm just saying the opportunity is there. And we know when it comes to football and NFL, hey, if the opportunity knocks, you got to walk through the door. That's all I'm saying. So I got Ben DiNucci, number 1. I think he can walk through the door and be your backup if he does enough the next 2 games.
Yeah.
Number 2, I gotta go to the weakest position, guys. I gotta go to tackle. I got to. Hey, Mr. Steele, undrafted guy. All this. Here's your time to shine. Mm-hmm. Leo Collins, not playing this week. You got an opportunity to start. Hey, Steele has got an opportunity to walk through that door to be the swing tackle and push out the older veteran who's nicked up. And my God, after him, who do we have? So for me, Steele and Ben DiNucci, Nucci man, the next 2 weeks. I'm wide open. Let's see what happens. Let's go from there. Obviously, we will watch the waiver wire and what happens. I didn't expect the Cowboys to do anything this week. We'll see, moving forward.
Yeah. I think
all right, guys. It's 1:20. Hour and 20 minutes. we'll touch this here. We're going to touch it. We're going to swing around, and we're gone. Okay? And I think y'all know where I'm going. No, Isaac A will not beat him. No, he won't. He won't. They push you in the guard. I love Isaac. I want Isaac on the team. He won't beat still the guard or attack. I'm sorry. And I love Isaac. I want to give him some cake, and I'm here all night. But he's not going to do it. Get your likes and get your follows up right now. Make sure you hit the subs. We're going to touch this linebacker that we haven't talked about all night. That everybody, I've seen every single person comment about this linebacker all night. I haven't put it on the screen. I've been waiting until the very blessed tail end of tonight. For those that stuck, here's your payoff. For those that haven't, well, you got to go back and watch it or let somebody tell you. Get your likes up, get your shares up, get your on the bottom. Star Game Podcast, come through, hit that sub, do whatever. We're going to touch that linebacker because if you're on Twitter, Nick, if you're on Twitter, my goodness, it's been a melting pot all blessed day and a little bit longer, but today it was very hot. Spoony, I know you kind of touched it here and there. Y'all saw me tweet. I think Jalen Smith in the long term. I mean, I just want to talk about Jalen. I don't know. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, your time is up. Like, shares, and get it in here. We're going to talk Jalen Smith. Nick, your guest here. Me and Spoony have talked a ton about, Jalen here and there and whatever. I want to roll the red carpet out. If you want somebody else to go first, you have the right to refusal. If you want to shoot first, the floor, my guy, is all the way yours.
You got the hat on back, but it's serious.
Right? Oh, yeah, he's ready. I gave him right to refusal. He turned the hat back. I know what time it is. By all means, sir.
The Jalen stuff, man, it's a lot, man. One side of the fan spectrum, he's the worst linebacker to ever play for the Cowboys, and he needs to be off this team tomorrow, probably yesterday. And then we have another side that is hyping up a guy who did well back in 2018, right?
19. No, he was good in 19 still.
He was okay in 19.
Pro Bowl in 19. He was a Pro Bowl in 19.
He's somewhere in between. He's fine. He's one of the guys that suffers a lot of the same criticism as Connor Williams, Jeff Heath, Doug Free. Those guys that had I'd say Anthony Brown, but he's had more recent struggles. But like guys who were good had to step back, and then from the public's eye, never recovered. And they're looked upon with a microscope, and every single misstep, it's the end of the world, and this guy's the worst. Every player has a bad play here and there every game.
Yeah.
So the fact that we focus on this one play, that if you look at the tape, and I think Tuck posted it, it wasn't even necessarily his responsibility, yet we're going to crucify this guy and make it seem like he's terrible. But again, whether it's his responsibility or not, we don't know. It's one play. The dude's going to be on this team. So a lot of these people, there's maybe 1% chance that the Cowboys are be like, "No, we got to move on for this guy. His contract's guaranteed." So it would have to be bad. Will his snaps decrease? Absolutely. All of the linebackers' snaps that played last year are going to decrease. Him and LVE's. It is what it is. He'll have a specific role. I think you mentioned it with the new defensive coordinator with Quinn, saying how some of these guys, I think it was maybe you on Twitter, have a specific role and they were brought in for a specific reason. I think they have a role. It's just going to be a very small role because of these young guys who have stepped up and some of the dudes they brought in from Quinn's previous staff. So it's exhausting. Jalen.
No, say that again. No, Nick, please. One more time for the people in the back that didn't hear you. It's what?
It is exhausting. It's something that like we shouldn't have to worry about. We're talking about probably linebacker number 4 right now.
I can't let you get off that.
Ooh.
You got no. See, you said linebacker number 4.
Yeah. I still think he's linebacker number 4, as much as I think you're wanting me to put him at 5.
No. It's not about 5.
Oh, interesting.
No. It's not about 5. It's not about 5 at all. Because see, I'm not the guy that's that way. I'm just if I look and again here's the antithesis of Cowboys Nation and what's happening right now. He's where on the paid scale of all the players. His cap number is in the top 5, and he's not a starter. And I think there's some of that there. There's some other things as well.
Sure.
But so let me get you on this. You said 4. I'm fine with that. 4 is fine.
Yep.
4 is fine. Right? 4 is fine. Right? I'm gonna throw this up from my guy Ed and Eddie Silver and Blue. Does make some pretty good content. Is that he has played 90+% of the snaps. Really, I should say 93+% of the snaps the last 3 years. What percentage of the snaps do you think he's playing this year at the 4th linebacker?
40%. 35-40%.
Wow. So you have 3 linebackers combined that'll make less than him, that'll play more than him.
And here's the thing too. If his contract wasn't guaranteed, they would move on from the contract. You know, he likely.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. No, bro. Look, Tyrone Crawford. They could have moved him from Tyrone Crawford and saved $8 million, and they said, "Nah, sit around, make this 9. We don't care."
But I think they thought Tyrone Crawford had a role still on this team during this last year. He just never recovered from that hip or double hip surgery. I think they intended him. I think they just drastically misjudged that.
I'm with you. Okay.
They saw how well he played when he was healthy with D-Law and how much he did the dirty work. And they thought he could still do it, and I think they missed. If they knew, I think they would have tried to move on from the contract as well.
All right. Okay. All right. Look, Lucky Johnson says, "Come on, man. Who are the 3 ahead of him? Nick? Who's the 3 linebackers?
I think
ahead of
Parsons, LVE, and Neal right now. I think.
Boom.
I don't think
there it is. Parsons, LVE, Neal. Boom. All right. Spoonie.
Here's my take.
Okay.
And I'll say this: Jalen Smith had a great story. The story was awesome. We all knew that he should have been a top 5 pick out of Notre Dame. If it wasn't for that injury he had, he came a long way when some doctors or personnel have felt that he won't be back. But he came a long way. But you know what's funny? When you look at Jalen Smith's numbers, in every category, tackle, solo, assist, they all above. They go up. They're literally up. Every category, the number's up. It's up. It's up. It's above. It's above the last year number, which was one in the player. My issue with Jalen Smith is that for what we saw is he great against the pass? No, he's not. But going north and south, we know what's up. He's gonna get it all in there. On lateral, BJ had pointed out, certain things that's like, wow, that's not. It doesn't look good. Right. I believe that Jalen Smith will be put in a situation where, again, I'm with Nick. He'll probably be the first backer. He'll contribute. I don't think he'll be there on 3rd downs. But I still. And here's another thing. Put that out. And it's not because he's so bad. Right. I just believe the way this defense is going and what they want to do, because this is a passing league, and they want to have linebackers who can really play that. And let's be honest, Parsons that's an animal right there. We also have LVE. LVE can play the pass. He's not. BJ's been on
great
nobody's
preseason.
Spoken about him in the preseason. He's
having a fucking phenomenal preseason, bro. Like nobody's talking. Look, I'm sorry to cut you off. Like LVE, you heard him in mini camps at OTAs before they got the training camp, and he was very, very, very vocal about, man, I've been on position for 2 years, da 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 da. And then he got to training camp and he shut the hell up. And if you go back and look at the tape, because I watch tape, there's some guys out here that claim they watch tape and do things, and they don't. I'm not calling no names.
Right.
Go look at LVE's tape and come back and holler at me. Right. He's got to be healthy. We know that. But so far, tape-wise, hey, bro. Hey, they should have been the 5th-year option. But it's preseason.
Right.
It's early. It doesn't matter. Go ahead, Spoon.
Right. So, when it comes to Jalen Smith, I believe that they're gonna put him in situations where it's gonna be his strength. You're like all his full strength. What that is against the run. Not so much against the pass, and that's the thing. He has all his numbers have gone up in every category, but
Yeah.
it's more about where his defense is going. And I'm gonna use Vok. Vok has put a quote out there 2 weeks ago on Twitter talking about Jalen Smith, and I loved it. It should be on a T-shirt or somewhere. He came out and said, "It's not that Jalen Smith is slow. Maybe it's the guys around him.
Defense has gotten faster.
Are faster, and that's even faster than the past defense plays we had in the past.
Right.
Again, this is a heavy passing league. You want guys in there to play. Keanu O'Neal is a former safety going to alignment. He's already made 2 turnovers already. So
right.
Again, it's pretty right. And BJ had made a great point that nobody has said 2 weeks ago. Now, Spoonie listens. Came out and said, Jalen Smith may not be so valuable for this type of defense, but I guarantee if you put him in as a Pittsburgh Steelers in that 3-4,
he is different.
He is a different player.
Yeah.
That's the difference. The schemes.
All right. So hold on. I'm gonna steal a page from my guy Nick real quick. Wait. Let me over the top it for my old heads out there. Arm wrestling joint. Mojo moment right here. For my Sylvester Stallone fans, over the top, the arm wrestling joint back in the 80s. I'm an old head. So let me tell you something. And I think, and I really do believe this in a lot of ways, guys. I really do. And this is why I did this. And I want to talk about it real quick. I'll be a little long-winded here. Bear with me. Bear with your guy, Knicks. Because I don't think, here's the thing. I believe that in order to really evaluate Jalen Smith, right? Okay, I'm going to get a drag real quick. I might get banned for Twitter for doing that. I'm sorry. Or not on YouTube, whatever. I don't know. What I think is, I think context matters. That's what I believe. I believe context matters. Like I Jesse knows, is that we took a guy in the second round that we knew that wouldn't play. We had quote unquote inside information, right? We had inside information, and then it leaks out like if we didn't take him in the second round, well, the Patriots would have taken him in the second round. So that was supposed to make us feel warm and fuzzy as Cowboys fans. Whether it was true or not, at the end of the day, it's for us to feel warm and fuzzy. That's what it boils down to. But they said, hey, things are happening. We believe in it. It happens. All right. All right, cool. Then he gets to play. And look, he might have played a year early. He might have. I don't know. He might have played a year early. But he played and things happen. I can literally dial up, film that I've done. Spoon, you already know. Yeah. I've shared it with you. I've shared it with Matt. Mm-hmm. I've shared it with Mary. I've shared it with Tug. I'm like, here's 18 tape. Shit ton of 18 tape. I shared a shit ton of 19 tape. Excuse my language. Mm-hmm. I've shared a ton of tape. I was like, this is where this guy was. There was a point in time. And here's the fair assessment when you come to Jalen. There was a point in time in 18 and 19 where that he could misstep and make the play still. Now, I could show you a bunch of different film that would do that, but for time constraint reasons, I'll give you this one. Just go look this one up in 18. Okay, I'm going to give you one in 18. I'll give you one in 19. And this is the player that Jalen was at 18 and 19. 18 against the Texans. On the goal line, right? 4th down. If you go to the end zone view, if you got the all 22, if you go to the end zone view and what was happening, you will watch Jalen hop step the wrong way. He hop steps the wrong way. He misses. Bro, he misreads it. Mm-hmm. And Deshaun Watson takes off. Even though he hop stepped the wrong way, he turns, burns, bam, gets him. That's Jalen at 18. in a nutshell. All right. Let's go to 19. I can give you I'll give you this one against a particular play. Again, dial it up. Eagles at home in Dallas. He carries the receiver up, passes the receiver off to Heath, recognizes it, turns and burns on Mr. Ertz, tight end, all-world tight end, right? And runs parallel, like gives it, turns, runs, breaks it. Great play design. Mm-hmm. He recognizes it, he turns and burns, and he breaks it up. That's him in 19. 18-19. All right. We go to 20. Garrett's gone. Everybody's gone. Nolan's here, right? It's a bad year. Look, not only is it a bad year, it's a bad year for the defense in general. It's just a bad year. Look, I don't care. I mean, pick somebody. Who do y'all want to pick? It's a bad year. It's just a bad year. So for me, as I'm anticipating, I'm looking, right? So, look, everybody wants to go to whether, and here's where Jalen got in trouble. Because, look, he didn't get paid after 19, right? Let's be clear. He got paid after 18. Mm-hmm. 18 played great. Got paid. So let's stop the narrative that he got paid and started playing like shit. Let's stop that. Because he played great in 19. He did. Pro Bowler. It is what it is. 20 happened, and they were shit. The whole team, whatever. I don't know what happened. Look, Aaron's going to go back to the Cincinnati game where he was in the hole. He could have stopped the running back. He pivoted out, whatever. He was swiping too damn much. You know, he didn't do himself. Look, I understand. He didn't help himself. We got moved off of Sunday Night Football, and he said, if the owner ain't tripping, I ain't tripping. Look, Cowboys fans don't want to hear that shit from you as a player. Shut up and move forward. We understand that. He didn't get it. It is what it is. So we said, okay, well, here's Dan Quinn. As soon as Dan Quinn, go to the Start Game group. As soon as Dan Quinn got hired in January, I put up like 4, 5, 6 different pictures, 4-3 under. I went through and explained it. I said, hey, look, they're going to take him and put him at the Sam. Sam works. We watched Doris Armstrong play the flats, whatever. That's a bad look. To me, I'm like, oh, well, Jalen can do that. Look, get Jalen out the middle, put him on the look, set the edge, go get the quarterback, go play the flats. Jalen can do that, and I think he can exceed at doing that. Mm-hmm. I'm all in. 3 years straight, 2 Pro Bowl years, 93+% of the plays. I watched the film for certain content creators out there that want to challenge and talk about film today. I've watched the film and done it. I've watched the film this offseason. I thought Dan Quinn would position him to be a winner and do the right things. As we go back to the particular play that everybody's up in arms about. Everybody's up in arms about. Oh, well, he had the tight end. He did all this back and forth. Let's be clear. Let's say he had the tight end. Let's go with that. The tight end went up the seam. He had to pass the tight end to LVE and take the running back. That's IQ. Mm-hmm. The problem is for Jalen. Yes, lateral movement is a problem, but if his IQ was better, it wouldn't look so bad. Yes. The problem now is the defense overall this year, speed-wise, is way to freak up, and his IQ hurts him because he doesn't do it the right way. And that's the problem. Yes, did he have a great play and do the wash and go get the tackle? Absolutely he did. But if he's in space and they know where he's at offensively, and if your offensive coordinator is worth his weight in salt, forget gold, salt. It's like, oh, there's Jalen at the Sam. You're going to hit the audible, you're going to get him, and you're going to win. Right. And there's nothing that proves the last 3 years that tells you otherwise. Therein lies the problem. I don't understand why this is such an issue or a back and forth or whatever. I love Jalen. I want Jalen to win because he's a Cowboy. I don't even care about how much money he makes. The best part of business for us is every player here to be the best they can be and win. Because look, ladies and gentlemen, for those that are listening and paying attention, he's not going to get cut.
No.
He's not going to get traded. I don't care what guy that you follow on Twitter with the little blue star, or if you're in the dark mode, the little white check mark. It doesn't matter. He's not getting traded. If they wasn't going to cut Crawford and save $8 million, brother, Jalen's not going nowhere. Figure it out. And that's my tangent. I'll get on my house.
No, if you mind me real quick, B, just add on to that. Around the beginning of August, Dan Quinn, when they asked Dan Quinn about Jalen Smith, you could definitely tell basically when a player's role maybe diminish a little bit. And
right.
It's the little things you got to catch. They ask him about how do you feel about him? Oh, I think he's awesome. He works very hard. You can feel his speed as he gets closer.
Right.
To the ball carrier.
Right.
He goes, but Jalen Smith will be utilized as a blitzer more ever than before.
Right.
That tells you right there and there that on third, if they blitzing, he's in. Against the pass, he's not in.
And then you got to be worried because at that point, you're letting people know what you do. But we'll see what happens. You will see what happens. Again, my tangent. I'm sorry, y'all like it. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
I think it was fair.
but low key though. I mean, I just don't understand. Like, two things can be true. Nick, let me ask you this: two things can be true, right? Are we not wrong on that? Like, yes, there's things that Jalen can do that are good. On the same token, we can acknowledge the fact, like, laterally, he's done.
Yeah.
Like, what's so hard about that?
He's got issues to his game. He also has made good plays in the past. So it's one of the things where, like, it doesn't have to be one or the other. It doesn't have to be polar opposites. So,
yeah,
I'm right there with you, man.
In the Arizona game, yes, he washed and went through it, made a great tackle on a run. On the same token, his ass got fucking honey roasted. I'm like, guys, as Cowboys fans, we had to understand where he's at. There's only certain things he can do now. And look, time be damned, injury be damned. Look, obviously, if he didn't have the injury, it'd be different. I don't understand why there's such this big uproar on Twitter and Facebook, and we're back and forth about him. I really just don't get it. But with that being said, guys, we went way too long. I knew Jalen was going to get us there anyways. It is what it is. But, man, Nick, brother, I appreciate you. Man, we talk back and forth all the time, man. I love you on Twitter. By all means, man, tell people where they can find you and where they can follow you at, bro.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. I'm always glad to be on the show. So, yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Nick_Herrera34. So, yeah, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and low-key, you got to inbox me this setup you got there. I need that because – I can only do this, and it sounds great, and
I got you.
Everything's really bad. But I'm loving how you're sounding and what you got there. I need that.
All right, yeah, I'll let you know.
Yeah, that part. Spoonie, my brother from another.
Oh, you can find me on Twitter at Spoonie881, and I just want to say, Nick, it was a pleasure me just chatting with you, man. I'm a huge fan of you on Twitter. Nick tells it like it is.
Oh, he does. Oh, yeah. Well, hold on. You got to be clear though, Spoon.
Ooh.
He does, but then you got to pay attention.
Yeah,
Nick will troll your ass real quick. ASAP. He will troll your ass ASAP.
10%.
10%. Little salt bait.
Yeah, exactly.
Salt bait.
You got to be very.
Hey man, good shit, man. Hey man, appreciate you as always. You already know what it is, man. Your guy Nick's _ for sure. Again. One time, shameless plug. My guy, Dave, Chop, Sports, go over there, all about the Star. I was on the latest episode, number 3. Man, go down on that. Man, send the love. Let it be happening. Obviously, me, Spoon, Mary, Ella, we be rocking over your Star game. We love our fam here, Nick. Second time on. Won't be the last time for sure, as always. Y'all see what the bottom of the screen, right? It says Star Game Podcast channel, YouTube. Man, come on, man. Get this up, man. We're trying to get to $1,000. Can we get to $1,000? Man, we're like $8,000, like on no shit. We're over $10,000 as a page. and then the group were over $7,000. My God, can we, ladies and gentlemen, please, can we get over $1,000 on YouTube? You know, that's all we're asking for. Not a whole lot. We appreciate y'all as always. We'll rock with y'all. Texas game. What, Friday?
Saturday. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Swoon. We live streaming again, right?
Yeah. I might not be in town.
Mother, you better figure it out.
Yeah, I gotta figure it out.
All right. We might be live for the game. We'll see what happens. We'll let y'all know. Appreciate y'all as always. Y'all have a great night. Peace.